I watched a lot of videos of people building out their vans, and I've built out a few in my lifetime, and they're fun projects to do. But I thought I'd give you a tour of this one. It's my latest. It's an old beat up 1988 Chevy Beauville. Has a 350 engine in it and overdrive transmission. I'm not sure what model transmission it is. And it's got some rust and it's got some dents. The person that had this before me was really diligent about keeping it under coated with just greasy oil, and it's a mess under there. Anything I do, I just get covered with grease, but it's not rusty underneath. It does have some rust showing on the outside panels, but that is all. And so okay, I just keep pouring money into it. I put new tires on it a month ago and got the wheels aligned so that I won't have to be worrying about that. It's got 200-watt solar panels on the roof and an in-out fan in the center that I installed. I just put this new rack on it, and I just finished putting this roof rack up here, if I can get my footing. So I'll climb up. So I have a little outside storage for, this is a tarp with clamps and posts, and it'll just clamp to the rain gutter, and I put the posts in it and stake it out, so I have an awning. It's not a fancy awning, but it's an awning. And here you get a view of the solar panels and the vent fan. And I have extra room up here if I decide to put like a fishing pole holder, or I've seen people use black PVC pipe to make an outside shower. I might do that at some point. So back down. Got a spare tire mount. I had to buy that separate, so I wouldn't have to have it inside the cab. And while I'm back here, I'll show you the storage area under the bed. Probably gonna have stuff fall out because I tuck it behind the door. Sure enough, there's bungee cords. But yeah, I keep my oil and my tools and a bunch of camping gear back here. Coleman stove. There's a portable table I can set out. I have the lawn chairs up on the roof. So all set for camping outside. And then this is kind of a mess, but this is a 9-inch memory foam full-size mattress, and it just squeezes in. So it's probably an inch wider than it needs to be. But if you force it, it fits in the width-wise. So it's just long enough for me. I'm 6 feet if I sleep on a diagonal, but my girl is a little shorter and she needs the space on the bed, so that works perfect for her. And we'll head inside. I put the rain gutters over the windows so that you can have them partly opened without getting water inside. It's always nice to have extra ventilation. And here we have cabinetry. I made up these boxes. They have the butcher block countertop over there. You got a fridge, 12-volt Vivor fridge, which works great. It was like $100 on sale, and that was cool. And I got a sink with 10 gallons in this cabinet of available potable water. And we'll just pull that out and show it. There's a jug in back and a jug here, so I have 10 gallons. I have a porta potty there with you know, cleaning supplies and whatnot you need for that. I have the sink draining into a 5-gallon bucket. So if you use, by the time you run out of water, it's time to empty the bucket. So kind of tried to think that through. And it has a 12-volt camper pump that works off a switch up on the top here. So you just hit the switch there in the center, and then you have pressure, and you can run the sink and have running lukewarm water, cold water, whatever. It's not hot, there's no water heater, but it's good enough. Get some dishes done, or if I need a shave or something, it works just right. I keep this little extra table on here because the seat has a swivel, and I can either come up to the sink and cook my food and stuff on the sink. I have a propane stove tucked away down there, and so I can set the stove up on this and, you know, prepare my food over there. And when I want to sit and eat and whatnot, I can open a little table and sit here. And my girl can sit back here on the edge of her bed, and she can eat off of this or that. And so this cabinet has all my cooking stuff in it. There's frying pans and, you know, a coffee pot, and I have some road atlases in here, but all the silverware and everything else fits in there. And then I have 2 foam mattresses here, because when we're both in here, it works for me to just lay the foam on the floor here and sleep on the floor, and she gets the big comfy bed because she needs it and I don't. So then we got ceiling fan that blows in and out, which is nice. It doesn't give a lot of circulation in the van, though, I've noticed. We do have overhead lights. There's one there, one over the driver's seat, and another one up here. And, you know, at night they light it up pretty nice. And then what else? Oh, the cockpit. Oh, right here. This is a compartment that holds a diesel heater, and I have that all plumbed in and everything. It vents out through the floor. And it works for a little storage cabinet too, but the diesel heater works great. And up here, I ended up using, it's a Ford swivel base that I bought. It cost like 200 bucks, but I ended up lifting it. I got these spacers underneath it to make enough room so that I can fit a 5-gallon, it's like 4-gallon, fuel tank under the seat here for the diesel heater. So I'm keeping the diesel right inside the cab, and it never smells or anything. It's fine. So this pivots in it, swivels back and that, and it's pretty comfortable. Alrighty then. Put in a lot of front end parts on this thing, new tie rod ends, new ball joints. It doesn't have a ton of mileage on it, but it did have kind of a loose front end. So I tightened all that stuff up and put an armrest on here, which isn't factory. The switches are cobbed in. Eventually I'll get to fixing these doors up and making them look decent. Probably panel them. Under the hood, it's just your standard typical 350 in a van, and this is a continuous duty solenoid, so it's a battery cutout. So when I'm powering my house battery off the alternator, this comes on when I turn the key on. It activates the solenoid and connects the house battery to the car battery, so that I can keep everything charged off of the alternator. And I did upgrade the alternator. It's 105 amp versus the original 80 something amp. So that's taken care of. It's got a new battery in it. I know this isn't the right tank, but it's the one that had, and it kind of works. Everything else under here is just typical Chevy van, nothing special. But it does run good. It's only got about 50,000 miles on it. So that's that, and then I wanted to show the electrical area. Takes a minute to get in there because I have to tilt the seat front. So this is my power station. I have it's Renogy. That's the readout for the charge controller, and this is cord from the refrigerator. So I can just plug that into a cigarette lighter port. I have 2 cigarette lighter ports and 4 USB ports right here. I'm thinking of putting another setup closer to the back so my honey can plug stuff in where she needs it. But this is my power bank setup. I have the Renogy charge controller. It's a 30 amp, it's not the bigger 50 amp, but it's plenty because I'm not really doing all that much with it. And so it charges off the alternator. The controller understands when the alternator is kicked on, and it prioritizes the alternator. But once you shut it off and the alternator isn't connected anymore, then it switches over to solar and 100 amp hour nickel phosphate, I guess, battery down in there, if you can make it out. Oh yeah. And everything else, I got a fuse panel there, you can just see it, and I wired everything else into that, and I put an on-off switch for my diesel heater just so I can isolate it and be able to shut it off completely so it doesn't draw on things. And I set everything up with fuses and breakers and the way you're supposed to. I did a lot of research to make sure I was getting it right. And I've had enough experience wiring 12 volt stuff, so it was really not hard to figure it all out. It's just a matter of doing it. So yeah, that's that. That came out real nice. It's tight in here. There's not a lot of extra space, that's for sure. But what there is, I've made work pretty well, I think. There's insulation. It's underlayment up here. This stuff, and it's about a ½ an inch thick, and comes in a roll. And I used spray adhesive and stuck it down everywhere where I wanted insulation on the walls and the ceiling. And then back there I used Luan plywood, and I stained it that light blue and then put a coat of polyurethane on it. And I was going to keep going and fill in this area up here, but I just kind of got lazy and life got in the way, so I'm living with the carpet, which is fine. It works nice to dampen noise. And then notice around the trim, I've covered a lot of the bare metal with indoor-outdoor carpeting. You can get it cheap at Home Depot, and I use spray adhesive and just cut pieces out to fit and glue them on, and it seems to work pretty well. I've modified the dash a little bit so I have extra USB ports up here and a lighter port so I can run my GPS. And I have a stereo in here that I haven't really bothered setting up correctly because one of the speakers is shot, and I need to take the dash apart to work on the heating system anyway, because it doesn't blow. The blower comes on, but it doesn't. I don't know if the door is jammed shut, but the vacuum system that runs all of the little foo-foo valves and whatnot doesn't seem to work. So I'm going to have to take the dash all apart one day and sort it all out and make everything work again. But in the meantime, I got vent windows and no air conditioning, but like I said, vent windows and lots of ventilation. I did spend some money and I bought the pop-out windows for the back. It had solid glass, So I replaced those because it already had pop-outs on the sides, both sides, but it didn't have any in the back. So just gives it more ventilation. And that's pretty much the tour. I'm having fun with it, and I'm looking forward to using it. Soon, we'll be traveling in it before you know it. Thanks for watching.